Well, you've decided RV living is for you.
You found your rig,
You have all of the accessories.
and now you know how to make money on the road.
But now you need to know, how much does RV living really cost?
Roll the intro.
Hey everybody, I'm Natasha,
And I'm Bill.
and we're nursing our travel bug. I'm a travel nurse,
And I'm the stay-at-home dad.
and together we travel all over the country with our 2 kids, our dog, in our fifth wheel RV.
And we are loving every minute of it. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to our channel.
Welcome to part 5 of our 5-part series entitled RV Living Start Here.
This one is all about our budget. We're getting personal.
We are. Now, we know every budget out there is different, every lifestyle is different, but we're just going to share with you our personal budget and kind of give you an idea of how you might be able to budget for RV living as well.
Yes, along the way we might be throwing in tidbits of how things were when we started versus how things are now, just to give you an idea of how these prices will differ.
There's definitely a learning curve involved when you're changing lifestyles.
But the first thing we're going to talk about are loans. We're going to get that tough one out of the way, debt.
Yes, luckily we have paid off all of our student loan debt and all of our credit card debt. Woohoo!
Yip, yip. We're going to start with our tow vehicle. Of course, with our fifth wheel, we need a big old truck to pull it. We ended up getting a used truck. We knew from the start we probably couldn't afford a new one. So we got a used one. Feel like we got a pretty good deal. We have a 2013 GMC Sierra 3500 dually. And it's a diesel. So buying a used one was pretty key to our financial success.
One tip, when we were with the dealer, we actually had them work in an extended warranty into the purchase of our vehicle at their expense, just to give us a little peace of mind because it was used.
So we have a 6-year loan, and right now we're paying $630 every month for a truck payment.
On to the home. Unfortunately, we did not have enough money in savings to purchase the RV outright, but we did have a little bit we can put as a down payment. So we financed our 2017 Jayco North Point 377 RLBH. After putting our money down, we did have to get a loan for $51,000, and we pay $504 per month.
So you put our truck and our RV together, it seems like a lot of money. Our mindset at the time was we're either making a mortgage payment or we're making our truck and RV payment. Sticks and bricks.
Or a home on wheels. You decide.
So for 3 years, that's all we had. We had our fifth wheel and we had our big old dually. She would take that as a daily driver to work every time she had to go in. And we would be stuck without a second vehicle back at the RV. If the kids and I wanted to do something, we would just have to take her to work at like 5 in the morning to have the vehicle for the day.
As Bill said, we did that for about 3 years, and it worked really well for our family. However, we found we were spending a lot of money in fuel costs, maintenance, and overall repairs. And we sat down and decided that it actually was in our best interest to take on a second daily driver because it would actually save us money in the long run.
Again, we set out for a newer but used fuel-efficient vehicle. After doing some research, we actually found that we could get a brand new car for about $2,000 more than a lot of the used ones we were seeing.
Mind blow.
Kaboom! We ended up with a brand new 2019 Kia Optima for just $17,000. We got a 5-year loan. We paid $236 a month.
The amount of money we were saving in fuel costs alone takes care of that car payment.
Not to mention, maintenance on these dualies is super expensive.
Maintenance on a car, not so much. Win-win. Now, as we said in the beginning, this is what we have for our actual debt. We've actually been studying Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University and have been snowballing our debt. That's why we no longer have student loans or credit card payments. So although these are the minimum amounts that we pay toward these loans, we are trying to snowball and pay larger sums on the smallest loan. And once that's paid off, pay off the next loan, and so forth. That way we can get under the crushing weight of debt.
Freedom! So there you go. That's all about our debt. We're done with that. Get it out of here. We're moving on now to housing. So with that, what I mean is like our rent. We only move every 3 months or so generally we're making a monthly payment to an RV park.
Now, those payments do vary depending upon what region you're staying in, what state, heck, what season you're even planning on staying in. For us, we'll just give you a general idea of what we've paid in our last 3.5 years. We've paid as little as $420 a month, and that is all-inclusive, utilities and everything, all the way up to $850 per month, plus utilities. So on average, we tend to budget between $500 and $600 a month.
Next item up is utilities. As she was just saying, some of these RV parks you're going to have to pay a little extra for your electricity. That can differ also. We've paid anywhere from 10 cents a kilowatt hour all the way up to 14 cents. Depending on where you are and what season you're in, you might be running your air conditioner a whole lot more than you might be somewhere else.
On average, we've typically spent between $75 and $125 a month on electricity. I will interject and say that the most we've ever spent on electricity in 1 month was when we were in Tucson, Arizona in the month of June. That bill was $225 for monthly electric. Yowza!
Dang! Now on the flip side, if you're not running your AC and it's the wintertime, you might be running your furnace, and that's going to use up propane.
Now on average, in the non-winter months, we can make one 30-pound tank of propane last about 3 months, and they're typically right around $25 to refill. Now in the winter time, when we're using our propane furnace, in addition to our electric furnace, that one tank may only last maybe 1 month at a time, so you have to budget accordingly.
Something else that you might find a bit unexpected out there is while we were at one of these campgrounds, we actually had to pay for someone to pump out our sewer. They didn't have the full hookups, and they charged $10 every time you wanted to get pumped out.
For our family of 4, we can make our 50-gallon black tank last about a week, so it was really only $10 a week for us.
And like I said, it's pretty rare to have to do that. Or I guess if you're boondocking, you might have that expense to dump somewhere as well.
The next item we're going to discuss is insurance. Now, personal vehicle insurance can be a huge range depending upon how many vehicles you have, what the vehicle type is, where your domicile state is, your age, your accident history, all of those things. So because of all of those different factors, we're not going to jump too much into personal vehicle insurance just because it's going to vary from person to person and you can't really lock that down. Basically, whatever you're paying for insurance now, just include that into your budget. But we are going to talk to you today about RV insurance because it's going to be pretty similar across the board. First, we're going to talk to you about what we were paying
in the beginning. That's right, in the beginning, we were paying $67 a month for full-time RV insurance. And yes, there is a difference between regular RV insurance and full-timer coverage. With full-timer coverage, you're going to get things like the usuals, like comprehensive and collision coverage. We have roadside assistance added to our plan,
which does include a free tow if you're ever in need.
but similar to rental insurance or home insurance, full-time RV insurance will also cover the costs of displacement. That means if your RV is in the shop due to a claim, they will help cover some costs of a hotel while you cannot be in your RV. Also, to coincide with the full-timer insurance, we have a rider for our personal belongings. They will cover up to $10,000 of our personal belongings if they get damaged or destroyed due to a claim.
Yes, as Bill said, we were only paying $67 per month in the beginning. But then, dun, dun, dun! We had a couple of mishaps on the road. In fact, after 2 roof replacements,
2!
and some body damage, today our premiums are up to $172 a month.
Speaking of accidents and claims, let's move on to health insurance. This one is a huge question that comes up all the time. What do we do for health insurance? Again, when we started out, we used the insurance provided by her travel company, Arias.
It was decent insurance. It was your standard insurance where you had a deductible. I believe ours was $3,000 for a family. Then it paid at like 80-20 after that, but the premiums were pretty steep. We were paying over $800 a month for family premiums, which is actually pretty decent in the travel nursing world. But it also has its drawbacks. If you take more than 2 weeks worth of time off in between contracts, you lose that coverage. And we just wanted something that was a little bit more flexible, that didn't tie us down from contract to contract or tie us to the same company.
Luckily, around this time last year, the group that we are a part of, Road Life Project, came out with a health insurance option. They still offer to help you find health insurance, though the plan we have is no longer offered.
It's a little unconventional, whereas you don't have a deductible to meet or monthly premiums. It almost is a pay per service type of insurance program, which for us, being a healthy family of 4, works out really well. We pay $481 per month, and that's it. We don't have prescriptions or anything else to pay. It's saved us a ton of money.
Just as an example, we went to the doctor's office for the kids to get a checkup. They both had a vaccine, and we paid about $400 out of pocket. We turned in our claim, and we got 2 checks for $250, one for each kid.
We actually came out ahead. Cha-ching!
Next item on our budget list is technology. Now, first up, cell phones. When we started out about 3 years ago, we had Sprint. We were paying about $150 a month, and the only hotspots they offered off the phones was about 15 gigs per month.
Sprint didn't have the best coverage, and as most of you know, 15 gigs does not go very far when you're talking about streaming or uploading or watching YouTube. So we had to come up with another option. After much research, we decided to add a personal MiFi device from Verizon. We purchased a jetpack. It cost us about $200, and we got signed on with an unlimited plan for $67 a month. That is quite a steal.
Unfortunately, that plan isn't offered anymore, but if you keep your eye out, you'll see new plans are popping up all the time.
Now, Sprint gave us okay coverage, but we found our Verizon jetpack had more reliable internet overall. So, after talking with a family member, we were actually able to ditch the Sprint plan and hop on to their family plan. So now, with 2 new cell phones, unlimited data, and our service plan, we only pay about $105 a month for our service.
Another aspect of technology we budget for, now that we have reliable data, are streaming services. Currently, we are subscribed to both Hulu and Netflix. And if you have a fantastic family member with other streaming services, you might be able to team up with them on those. Our Hulu costs us $6.50 a month because we just struggle through the ads. That's fine for us. And Netflix, we're paying $17 a month now.
And don't forget to mention, we also have Disney Plus. It's actually offered for free through our Verizon plan, so we don't have to pay for that for a year. The next item on our list is household expenses. For us, that means groceries and laundry.
Groceries, we spend about $500 to $600 every month for our family of 4.
Now, although our RV is set up for it, we don't have a washer or dryer in the home, so we still have to go to a laundromat. Most of the RV parks we've been to offer laundry services. So on average, we pay about $20 a week or $80 a month to do the laundry for our family of 4.
Next item on our budget list is fuel.
Typically, we're parked in one location for up to 3 months at a time. So when we had just the truck, we were spending about $300 a month in fuel alone. Now that we have the car, we average between $50 and $100 a month. That's a huge savings.
Now when we're traveling, just for example, when we just had the truck, the longest trip we took was a 2,000-mile trip. Fuel alone, we spent $800.
Ooh-wee!
Now since then, of course now we have the 2 vehicles, but we also found out about this great discount fuel program, TSD Logistics. Check out the link in the description to save you some cash if you fuel up with diesel. Signing up is free. Be sure to put down my name, Bill Stevens. Now, with that fuel program and with our truck and car, we recently took about a 1,600-mile trip. Gas for the car was about $100. Fuel for the truck was about $475. So the $575 doesn't seem too bad compared to what we spent with the truck just by itself.
Our next budget item might be something you hadn't considered. We call it our fun budget. Why a fun budget, you ask? Well, when you're living this lifestyle, it's really easy to live like you're on vacation. And that means you're spending a big chunk of change. If you set up a fun budget and you limit yourself, this prevents overspending. So what do we include in our fun budget?
We include excursions,
Dining out,
souvenirs,
and entertainment.
and we hope right now you are mildly entertained.
And guess what? This is free!
My favorite 4-letter F word. Free! Our next budget item is, of course, whatever you have left over, savings.
For our savings, we break it down into 3 different categories. Our first category is our emergency fund. This is a fund that is strictly for emergencies. It stays in the savings account. We don't touch it. We don't spend it.
Ooh, money.
Don't touch that. Now, if you're following along with Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University, he says that really your emergency fund should be about 3 months of your expenses. While we don't have that much saved up yet, we are working on it.
Next under savings is maintenance. There's things that you know will be coming up. Eventually we're going to need new tires on both the truck and the RV. Plus we talked about how expensive maintenance is before. So it's best to just put some money away and be prepared. You don't want to be caught off guard when these expenses come up.
Lastly, we also save for big item purchases. Now, whether that's a really big trip
I'm going to Disneyland!
or just large purchases that you know you want to save up for. Just make sure you designate that money appropriately. Well, that does it for our monthly budget items. However, there are a few items that tend to pop up every year we want you to remember.
Of course, you know they're coming, so again, be prepared.
The first item that comes around every single year is your vehicle registration. Now, there are certain states, like the state of Texas, that might have some additional requirements in order for you to register your vehicle every year. For Texas, they require you to have an inspection. Now, if you do happen to be out of state, because we travel, don't fret. There is a location, whether it's a box on the registration card they mailed you out or online, that you can mark explaining that you are out of state. So you can still register your vehicle. You just have to make sure you get it inspected upon returning to the state.
Now again, for us, this may not be for you. We have costs like school registrations and school supplies. We know they're coming every year. Usually coincides with maybe some new outfits for the kids as well. You may have to pay for various supplies like textbooks, and of course those pens and papers and all those things your kids will need for homeschool.
The last item to consider are those yearly memberships. For us, we subscribe to several discount programs. One we often use is KOA. This membership costs about $33 a year, and you get 10% off of every stay, as well as points every time you stay with KOA that could get you a free night stay.
The next membership we continue to renew every year is Good Sam. This gives us not only a discount at campgrounds, but also if we're ever in need to shop at Camping World, this gives us a discount there as well. This costs us $29 every year.
Another membership we're happy to pay every year is our membership through Fulltime Families. This helps us connect not only online, but it helps us connect with various RV rallies and online functions for the entire family. And this membership only costs $65 per year.
The last one that we continue to support is AAA. We've had these for years and just always know that AAA will be there if you're ever in a bind. It just so happens I used to work for AAA, so I know about some of these discounts. You gotta look into it. There it is, our monthly budget grouped into categories.
Our categories include our auto and RV loans, housing and utilities, insurance, technology, household expenses including groceries and laundry, fuel, fun money, and savings.
Here's the grand total.
Well, there you have it, folks. There is our monthly budget when it comes to RV living. This budget is going to look different from person to person, family to family. It's going to vary depending upon how you live, what lifestyle you have. But we just wanted to share this one example of our budget to give you a better idea to plan your budget.
We hope it helps. That also wraps up our entire RV Living Start Here series. Of course, if you're just now watching this one and you haven't seen the rest, check out the playlist up here.
It's a great series, and we really hope that we've helped some of you out there figure out if RV living is right for you and how you can get started on this amazing journey.
Of course, if you like this video, again, we're asking you to subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear what you have to say.
Well, I'm Natasha.
And I'm Bill.
And we're nursing our travel bug. And we're encouraging you to get out there and nurse what makes you happy. See you down the road, y'all.
It's over. The series is over.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you.
Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather.
Happy trails to you until we meet